So, we're going to be doing the Samsung Color Palette Challenge. So basically, how this works, go to your Samsung Notes. Nobody uses this app except me. You tap here where you go pick your color. You go over here to the history, and what basically happens is that you take a screenshot, you crop out the entire image only to show the specific color palette. You then proceed to go to your local painting software, import picture, and then boom, you have your color palette to use for your drawing. We're going to be using light theme. I tested out the colors to see if they are different. They are different. You can use it to your advantage and make shades and highlights, but you're only allowed to use the specific color palette. Let's say this is the color. You can either use it to be a highlight, a shade, or like a muted version of these colors. This, you can go wild. The reason why I choose to review Black Panther is because, 1, it was a normal Saturday. Every Saturday I was mopping the floor because it was cleaning day. While every other household does what you typically do on a normal Saturday, sleeping, relaxing, going out and stuff like that, our family was cleaning. My mom and her friend were using a streaming software called Kodi. Do not get Kodi. It is a scam. Literally, you can't watch most of the movies there. Anyway, they decided to watch the film. I was only able to watch snippets of the film because I was just mopping, and I thought it was good. So the first reason I watched the film is not because I'm black, but because my mom and her friend watches this movie. They said that it looked good, and I must get to the bottom of this and find out for myself because, 2, every single critic that I've seen reviewed this movie are white men, and that doesn't seem fair. Instead of white men reviewing a movie, why not a black woman? I'm becoming something that I feared. And SJW, I hate myself. I never wanted to get political. I only wanted to do this because I can. Bleak Pinter is an action-adventure sci-fi film released in February 16, 2018. Directed by Ryland Coor, starring Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, and Lupita Nyong'o. Now I know, man, this movie's a small installment to the big MCU, but I'm not here to talk about the MCU. I'm here to review Bleak Pinter. I have a special connection with the movie, and no, it's not because of my heritage. I'm not even Wakandian. So basically, this movie starts off with a grown man telling some kid about some story, both with a funny accent. Basically, there's some vibrating metal that just so happened to land in the continent of Africa. Some Africans found out that this metal is very powerful and combined with their culture were thousands of years ahead of everyone else's time. I bet in the 19th century that they already have modern house designs. Oh, and some person ate some purple heart-shaped flower with vibrating metal in it, and they became the first Bleak Pinter. Anyway, they hid their power from the rest of the world because white people steal. They steal and steal and steal. I'm sure a white person is probably stealing my content, claiming that it's theirs. Get a talent, you unoriginal. So anyways, you meet our main character, T'Challa. He's going to the museum with some ragged guy called Useless Christoph. Useless Christoph talks about how these weapons were powerful. T'Challa gets an idea. Okay, that was the main character of this film. This is the main character, T'Challa. Don't worry about the other T'Challa. T'Challa becomes king because his father died. How did he become king? He fights. First, his powers get taken away by drinking a weird drink for a fair fight because apparently he's strong. Up to this point, we never see him use his strength, but apparently he's strong. It was at this point my mom said that she didn't like the African ritual. I can't say much because I only believe in God. Anyway, he fights this guy called Jabbar. He runs a mountain tribe and they hate Wakanda and their advanced technology. Obviously, he lost and T'Challa became king. He gets his powers back by drinking some weird purple liquid and dying and burying himself into the ground. So he goes on a drug trip and meets his father. His father gave him a pep talk and told him to be the best king you can be. Shut up. He goes to Nigeria to save a woman called Nokia. Apparently, Nokia is T'Challa's girlfriend. When T'Challa is getting a new suit in his sister's lab, they get told that someone's been stealing ancient artifacts from some Wakanda museum and selling it all to somebody in South Korea. They care about this for some reason and want to stop them. This scene bothers me because if you're a black person in Asia, people will give you hard stares probably. I've never been to Asia, take what I say with a grain of salt. Anyway, the guy that was meant to buy the weapons helped the main characters later in the movie. Oh, and the first T'Challa that was originally in the movie is called Killmonger now. I'm gonna call him that because of continuity reasons. So anyway, let's get to this. He is the antagonist of the movie. He kills useless Kristoff, challenges T'Challa to the throne, wins, gets to experience the weird drug trip that T'Challa also has to experience in order to get the Bleak Pinter's powers, and kill Momgard's motive is to distribute all the weapons to those who needed it, and it is with the intentions of black people causing a war. I have a problem with that motive. If he tells everyone what and how the weapons are so powerful, won't people, specifically white people, access Wakanda and steal? Don't you want to protect the metal? Also, these women's designs, don't you want people to see your art? I mean, I'm posting my artwork on YouTube and no white person's stealing at the moment, so you shouldn't be worried. Anyways, T'Challa survived because apparently the water obeys Minecraft physics. He's laying in snow without getting hypothermia because also apparently the snow obeys Minecraft physics. The heart-shaped flower which has vibrating metal seeds gets saved because they probably want to regrow a garden with it, only for it to get used to save T'Challa. T'Challa visits his dad in the drug trip and questions why he didn't bring back his half-American child back to Wakanda. His father wasn't clear on why, so obviously he's a big fat peepee head. So T'Challa gets healed and has a civil war with the king. The two Pinters fight in the deep cave where the labs are at. They fight in a railway which affects their suit like how a microwave affects the connection between my phone and my wireless earplugs. Anyways, T'Challa stabs Killmonger while punching those weird warts that showed how many people he killed all over the world, meaning that the people who died in vain. By the way, can we acknowledge the fact that the warts all over his body, showing how many people he killed, is disgusting? Why can't you tally the death count on paper? Why can't he tattoo his death count? Why can't he do his death count in any way that isn't disgusting? So anyways, he died. So apparently you can survive being stabbed as long as the weapon is still in you. Good to know. So anyways, T'Challa brought his sister where his dad killed his uncle, brought a few buildings, and he's going to create a Wakandian International Outreach Center out of them. The end. Okay, so since I never reviewed a movie before, ever, I'm gonna use and modify someone else's score and use it for my video. Story. I like the story despite some of the concerns I have. T'Challa feels like a blank slate and I can't really relate myself to him for some reason. Nokia is a spy, and yet the only time I see her do spy stuff is when she dresses up as a Muslim and sits with a bunch of Muslims in a cart while getting driven in Nigeria. She is T'Challa's love interest, but I don't really feel them having any romantic chemistry with one another. The Lab Princess sister is the only one that actually has a personality. She has charisma, and she also has a little attitude towards Americans. Here's a side note, I think she turned down royalty for designing technology stuff. A lot of the white characters either are one-sided or have no personality. Useless Kristoff is really crazy, and the other white guy is really bland about his charisma, and the only thing he does is that he helps to fly a plane near the end of the film. There's this one fat side character that just pops into the film. It makes me so confused on why I want to care about him. So when he dies, he feels like a useless character. The rest of the side characters feel hollow and empty. The only side character I can accept is Jafar. Generally, I feel like his mountain clan is not necessary. Killmonger straight up reminds me of the guy in the This Is America song. His personality, his tone, his attitude really reflects off that song. He has a clear motive and an upsetting backstory. We still don't know about his mom, and I didn't like the fact that they introduced Killmonger first before T'Challa. That's okay, because he has color. For some reason, the protag is the exact opposite of the antag, and what I mean by that is that the protag has no personality, but the antag has a lot of personality. The heart-shaped flowers, which have a vibrating metal in it, Feels like a plot convenience or a Mary Sue. The flowers take you on a drug trip. It heals people, it makes you powerful. The flowers can literally replace milk in making you and your bones strong. I liked how the kingdom used the rest of its country to their advantage. However, it still doesn't help that it's a third world country. The movie doesn't know how to perfectly extend the story up to an hour and 20 minutes, so they put 4 stories together and it comes off as pandering. I'll give the story a 2 out of 10. I like the story, but it needed a lot of work. Easy Peasy, a YouTuber in which I don't like his content and don't know personally, was right about naming his Black Panther video Black Pander. Actors. The actors have funny voices, but in all seriousness, so do my parents. I think the actors did a good job in this movie. I liked how they switched between English and their foreign languages smoothly. My parents do that all the time. You can bring a bunch of Nollywood actors to the American silver screen, they might actually do wonders. 6 out of 10. Visuals. I like the warrior outfit. It looks super cool and beautiful. I don't know about the bald head though. I only know about the African dresses. There are a few people who have plates in their mouth. I know it's a cultural thing, but can anyone please ask why they do that? It's so funny. The Black Panther outfit looks like it fit better in the MCU than in this country. 5 out of 10. Editing. When I see people fight, I don't really see them fight. The only way I can describe the fighting is like flashy fighting, where you only see the shot for a fraction of a second. Also, the sound design for the sounds are too detailed. It sounds gross. I know that when you fight, you're supposed to hear punching and kicking, but it shouldn't sound like you're punching a thin surface filled with potato chips and there's also liquid in it. I know people complain about the 3D animation, but I don't see anything wrong with it. 3 out of 10. Aesthetic. I love the aesthetic. Love how they put African culture into the story. Many films are able to do this because they want to cater to Twitter instead of either doing their research or not writing about diversity. 6 out of 10. Overall, despite the movie having some problems, I still like it. 18 out of 60. Yikes. I still recommend this film despite how it looks on paper. This review took longer than it should have, which is why this video didn't get uploaded last week. Because of this video, I've become creatively bankrupt in what video I want to make. I'm not going to turn into a review channel, this is going to be a once in a while thing. What do you think about this film? And yeah.